Today I'm going to be installing Moroso's all-aluminum oil pan into my 2005 Corolla XRS. This oil pan has some great benefits over the stock oil pan, like the internal baffling, increased oil capacity, lower oil temps, and 2 extra ports on there which can be used as a feed and return line for those of you who want to turbocharge your car. Now this oil pan will also fit both 1ZZ and 2ZZ engines, but the 2ZZ will benefit more since from factory it doesn't have the baffling in the pan. This setup is definitely overkill for my application. My XRS is just a road car, I don't plan on taking it to the track anytime soon, and the stock oil pan can handle 1G of force, which is quite a lot. But it is great insurance in the off chance that I accidentally end up on a road course. So let's go ahead and get this oil pan installed. So first things first, I'm going to jack up the car and put it on some jack stands so that I can get under it to work with the oil pan. Next, I'm going to go ahead and drain all of the old oil out. You probably don't want to be taking out an oil pan while it's still full of oil. There's the oil getting drained. Looks like this oil pan is dented as well, which is not too ideal. Good thing we're taking this oil pan out. Now that the old oil is out, I'm going to go ahead and start removing all of the bolts holding the oil pan to the engine. This is a terrible angle, but all the bolts have been pulled out. I didn't take this cross brace off. It probably would have been a lot easier if I had. Instead, I was just really maneuvering back here. There is also this plastic piece that blocks the weight of the last 2 bolts up there. If you put enough pressure on this, you can pop this off, and then it's not going to be a problem anymore. And then you can put a socket on both of those bolts back there. And now with all the bolts removed, I'm going to pry off the old oil pan. I used a screwdriver to pry off the pan, which was a really bad idea, and you're gonna see why in a second. And here we go. So this is just all the waste oil and stuff. This is the old pan, as you can see, 2ZZ, non-baffled, all of that. And then over here, this is the all-new Moroso oil pan. Got baffling in there with all the doors and stuff. So this should really help oiling. I did make a big mistake under here though. I used a screwdriver to pry off the old pan here. So under here everything looks good. But this is bad. This is where I used a screwdriver to pry the oil pan off, and it dug into the metal here. So there could be a possibility I need this machined. I'm gonna see if RTV can solve this, since I'm already gonna use RTV around the entire thing anyway. Might just put a little extra here and just pray that it doesn't leak, but if it does, then I'm out of luck. Don't use a screwdriver. That was a really bad idea. I'm sure they make something specifically for this application that I don't have, but yeah, that was a bad idea. Look at that. Yikes. Oh, that's not good. I might also use my Dremel wire wheel to try and grind that down a little bit, smooth it out. Besides that, it looks pretty clean under here. Not too worried about having to try and smooth this out. It already looks pretty smooth, except where I it there. I will be keeping the windage tray up here, and obviously here is the oil pickup. The dipstick would normally be here as well, but I pulled it out so it's not in my way. And now I'm installing the Moroso Studs. These come with the pan, so you don't have to worry about buying these separately. So I've tightened up all the studs here with a 3mm Allen's hex wrench, and then I've cleaned up some of the stuff. There's some extra gasket maker and stuff around here. I'm gonna clean it a little better before I throw the Moroso pan on here. So you can see there's still a little bit of residue left, but overall we are pretty much ready to throw the new pan on. And now what I'm using is some gray RTV gasket maker all around the oil pan here. These cars don't use actual oil pan gaskets, it's all RTV even from factory. So using RTV all around here is gonna get us the best seal. And now here I go walking off under the car. Obviously the camera is still filming the ground, so I'll just narrate what I'm doing. All I'm doing under the car is just aligning the oil pan with the studs and then just pushing it up and then starting to tighten down all the fasteners. Now I did have some trouble lining up the 6 studs on the leftmost side of the car. I don't know if I just wasn't lining it up correctly, but what I did to handle it was I took out those 6 studs and lined up the oil pan without them and then put those studs back in once the oil pan was lined up with the rest of them. Again, I'm not sure why that happened and why I was struggling so much with those, and I won't guarantee that you'll run into the same problem when you go to do this job yourself, but that was just my experience. And here it is. Still need to change the filter, I'll get to that soon, but the oil pan's done. I don't know what I was tapping it for. The bolts up here, super tricky to get to. You're definitely meant to take this cross brace out, but like other things in life, you can do it well if you find the right angle. Also, having a ratchet that can swivel like this is going to be helpful as well. So all of these are tightened down. As you can see, there's some of the gasket maker seeping through. So I'm gonna let all of this cure overnight, and then tomorrow I'm gonna pour oil in and we'll see if there's any leaks, and if there are, well, I might fix them next oil change, because I don't know if I want to pour in a bunch of oil and then take it out again to fix a leak. Anyway, hopefully no leaks. I've looked around and there is gasket maker, some extra gasket maker seeping out on every edge of the oil pan, so it shouldn't leak. I don't see why it would leak. Anyway, that's this part done. I'm gonna lower the car now so I don't get a ticket for having my car on jack stands overnight. And then tomorrow, I will fill in the oil. So just poured in all the oil, went up to the fill line. It was 6-ish quarts. So now what I'm gonna do is clear the maintenance light, then start the car. And if I blow up the engine, then it means I did something wrong. Okay, let's see if I remember how to do this. Actually, I don't even know if it's possible to do with one hand. I totally forgot. I'm pretty sure I need 2 hands for this. If I remember right, it should be ignition on. Push the trip button with the odometer on, turn it off, hold there for like 5 seconds, turn it back on, and there it is. There's the dashing lights, 3, 2, 1, zero's out, and now it's gone. And hopefully, fingers crossed, I don't go through an engine. Well, it sounds healthy, so I'd say that's a job well done. Now after it circulates the oil and stuff, I'm probably gonna have to top it off, but it's all right. Checked under the pan as well after I was done filling it. I didn't see any leaks. There's no leaks from any of the bungs. There's no leaks from where the engine meets the pan, so we should be good to go. If I spring any leaks, I'm gonna be well disappointed, but Hopefully not. If I remember correctly, I think the new oil capacity is 6.4 instead of 4.8 like previous. I didn't really measure my oil super well. I just filled it up until it was at the full line. Probably gonna let it idle for about 10 minutes. And then if it needs more oil, I'll add more oil and we should be good to go. But besides that, yeah, Moroso pan installed. All right, so the oil pan's been installed, oil's been filled. I topped it off a little bit after I ran it for 10 minutes, and now it's perfect. So, I'm not fully done yet because I have some old oil here that I need to get rid of. Well, I don't have a massive trail of oil following me, so that means that I must have done a good job then. There we go. Oil dropped off. We're all good to go. I actually don't know why I'm wearing sunglasses. It's a cloudy day today. I'm wearing it because I'm cool. That's why. Making a turn. Ooh. My engine hasn't exploded. That means the Moroso pan must be working. The fact that my engine's still running means that I did a good job. So, be proud of me. I'm patting myself on the back here. Overall, great success. I've got my oil change done now. I'm good for another 5,000 miles, although I'm probably gonna change it sooner than that. And I've got my oil pan installed. It's, you know, it's a good day. If anybody wants my old 2ZZ oil pan for some reason, 30 bucks takes it. It's probably worth that much in scrap metal, so yeah, if you want it, DM me on Instagram. And that is the Moroso pan install finished. It's working, there's no leaks, it looks great. Overall, I am very happy with this install. Now, I'm sure that if you're installing this oil pan, you're also going to want to install some other mods to go on with it. Check out this playlist right here to see more modifications you can do to your Corolla, and click here to subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.